Let's get more now on the report criticising social workers, police and prosecutors in Rochdale after they missed opportunities to stop the sexual abuse of young girls. The report comes after 9 men, 8 of Pakistani descent and 1 from Afghanistan, were jailed in May for grooming girls as young as 13. We can speak now to Mohammed Shafiq. He's chief executive of the Ramadhan Foundation, which aims to promote better understanding between Muslims and non-Muslims. And he's in our Salford studio this evening. A very good evening to you. Thank you for your time.
Anita. Good evening.
Obviously, this report focuses on official agencies, as we've just heard, social workers, police, prosecutors. But clearly, in a case like this, the community has a part to play as well. And as far as you're aware, in the Rochdale case, how much knowledge was there in the wider community that something was amiss, that something was going on?
Well, there certainly was chatter amongst the group of taxi drivers. It's quite a close community in the sense of taxi drivers and takeaway workers. And I had heard of this potential case back in 2008, but sadly there was no definitive information about individuals involved, taxi firms or takeaways, and therefore we weren't able to paint a picture in getting that information to the police. But I think what this report has done today is a damning indictment of the agencies who have a primary duty to protect our youngsters. These children were being raped, they were being abused by vile, evil men, and they went to the system that was there to protect them, and that system turned them away by labelling them as if they're making lifestyle choices and labelling them prostitutes. And I think that's a damning indictment, and it's just not good enough to hear apologies. I think there needs to be resignations at the top of social services and all the agencies involved, because with that huge power comes responsibility, and they've failed to protect these girls.
Does it surprise you that this report doesn't refer to a racial element in the Rochdale case? Obviously, at the time of the case, Greater Manchester Police said there was not a racial element, although the judge disagreed with them, of course.
Well, this inquiry and this report is about the institutions that were there to protect youngsters. So this is about social services, it's about the Crown Prosecution Service. So it's not really about, the impact of race. I've been very clear that I believe race has played a contributing factor. But today is very much about the victims, it's very much about the agencies that have failed, and it's very much about the fact that we've got a culture within our bureaucracy that thinks it's okay to label victims, child abuse victims, in particular this case, as prostitutes. And that's unacceptable, and we've got to make sure that we highlight that. This is not the first case, Anita, this is the second case. We had only in the last few days the Rotherham case as well. So I think that it's really time for the government to announce a public inquiry into these matters to make sure that we seriously learn the lessons and just not offer words of indictment.
Absolutely. There was, of course, the issue of how these agencies were viewing the young girls, the victims. But what I'm getting at was, do you think that there were cultural sensitivities within those agencies that perhaps prevented them moving quite as quickly as they should have done?
Well, I don't think there should be any cultural sensitivity in addressing this issue. Race or religion or culture or background, whether you're working class or middle class, it should be irrelevant. The primary aim should be to listen to these victims, to support them, and to bring the people who carry out such crimes to justice. And if there are agencies out there that are trying to hide behind diversity or hide behind cultural sensitivities, then that's absolutely appalling and wrong, and they should reflect on that tonight.
OK, Mohammed Shafiq from the Ramadhan Foundation, thank you very much.
Thanks, Anita.